right? And just mark yourself. And honestly, I didn't even do more than 5 listening tests. I didn't do more than 5. For the reading, I studied this man. I'm sorry, I'm coming. I'm trying to check my laptop for that. What's his name? So for the reading, I studied this man. Just a minute. IELTS. Yeah, that is. Okay. I found the video. I'm trying to get his name.
Okay, this is the reading from IELTS book 10 from test number 1.
Sorry, I can't get his. I can't find his name, but I'll send it. Maybe I'll send it to Yeah, I'll send it to Jaffa later, so you can forward it on the group. I'm sorry, I can't find his name. So for the reading, I just practiced like my reading videos. Okay, by James. I don't know if you know James. If everyone here knows James. The reading for if you go on YouTube, you type IELTS reading by James, you'll be able to get the information. IELTS reading by James. Then that's it. That's just basically it. I don't know if you have any questions you can ask. I'll share.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Mr. Dove, kindly put the names you are mentioning on the chat. The first name you mentioned, I didn't get the spelling.
Okay. I'll do that. I'm not really familiar with Zoom, so I don't even know where I can type at the moment.
Just look at the bottom. There is where it's written more. Then you on the more.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. All right. Ryan Higgins. Thank you very much. Ryan Higgins. Right. Then for reading,
hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Congratulations once again. Yes, sorry, please. I would like to know how your speaking went. And when you introduced yourself, did you have to say your full name in addition, or just your first name and your surname?
All right. When I introduced myself, I had to say my full name. All right. So for the reading, the part 1, those ones are quite predictable because they ask you those basic questions like, what's your full name and where are you from? Or what's your full name and where do you live? If they ask you where you live, they'll tell you how's your accommodation. Do you like the area where you're living? And that's what they asked me. So they asked me for my full name. I gave them my full name. Where do I live? I told them where I live. And like, do you like the area you're living? Why? What do you like about the area? Why do you like the area? So the question comes in 2 phases. Either where do you live or where are you from? If it's where you're from, they'll ask you what they do, where you're from, and those sort of things. So those ones are quite basic for the speaking. Just go on YouTube, keep practicing for the speaking. Just watch the videos and always practice with band 8 and above speaking videos. Don't practice with anything less than those ones. Only band 8 and above speaking videos.
Okay.
Please, can you talk more about the reading?
Hello, I didn't get that.
Can you talk more about the reading aspects? Like, time management is really my issue.
All right. So for the reading aspect, the man's name I type, I'm going to get his full name. I'm going to send it also. I'm going to get his full name. So basically, the way he did his reading and the way he taught us how to read is, when you read the topic of the essay. That's the first thing you're going to read. Read the topic of the essay. It's going to give you an idea of what the essay is about. When you're done reading the topic of the essay, you quickly skim through the first paragraph. Only the first paragraph, right? So once you're done reading the first paragraph, you go to the questions. Don't read the text, any other paragraph. Just go to the questions and read the questions. So basically, you're going to avoid the true or false questions. So if the question is bordering on true or false, avoid that. read the other questions. Just skim through them immediately. Skim through them, all the questions. Once you're done skimming through the questions, go back to the essay. Read only the first sentence of each paragraph. Only the first sentence of each paragraph. Once you're done reading the first sentence of each paragraph, you on that paragraph, you look for the words that have maybe numbers, that have capital letters, that are italicized, or names of places. And that's what saved my time. I think when I did my reading, I still had like 10 minutes left. I finished, I think, 10 minutes ahead of time. And now started skimming through again. So I don't know if that is clear.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Please recap.
Okay. So I said for the essay in reading, when you pick your essay, the first thing you're supposed to read is the topic of the essay. The topic of the essay will give you an understanding of what that essay is about. So let's say now you see, I'm looking for an essay here, so I can give you an example of what I'm talking about. Just hold on 1 minute. Okay, so I'm looking at this essay now. The name of the essay is Collecting as a Hobby. I mean, if you look at the essay, the title of the essay, Collecting as a Hobby, it will give you an idea of what the essay is about and what you're supposed to expect. So that makes it easier for you. So now I understand what the essay is, collecting as a hobby. Oh, what does this person collect? He's trying to collect maybe antiques, maybe toys, maybe cars, something, collecting something. I don't know what he's collecting. So I now read the first paragraph of the essay. That is where I'm supposed to read. I read the first paragraph. Once I'm done with the first paragraph, I go to the questions. Now, I'm going to avoid all true or false questions. That's what I'm going to avoid. All the true or false. I'm going to avoid those questions because those questions are going to end up confusing me or giving me information, if it's false, that is not in the essay. So I'm going to avoid those questions. I'm going to now read all the questions immediately. Once I'm done reading the questions, I go back to the essay. I read only the first sentence of each paragraph. So let's say now for paragraph 2, I read the first sentence. I'm done reading the first sentence. So the next thing I'm looking for in that paragraph is names of countries. If I see that, I'll underline that quickly. Maybe numbers, I'll underline that. Anything with capital letter, I'll underline that. So that's what I'm doing for each paragraph. I'm not even reading any paragraph. I'm not reading any paragraph. So once I'm done doing that for all the paragraphs, I go back to my questions. I read my questions and I go back to my essay and start looking for my answers from what I've highlighted. If I don't find my answers within like 10 seconds, I skip it to the next one. And then I come back to the ones that I've not finished. Yeah, that's it.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
There's someone who told me that candidates are not allowed to write in the question.
Sorry, please recap. I didn't get that.
I'm saying someone told me that students are not allowed to write in the exam anything in the question paper. So how do you do the underlining of the names when you're not allowed to write in the question paper? So I don't get it. Okay. Is it true or not?
Yeah. Hello. I didn't get that because the network was kind of cracking. I don't know. Maybe on my part.
Okay. Let me
So
repeat
maybe
my
you can
question.
just write the question. I don't know if that will take time. You can just quickly write because I didn't get that. Okay, is that the part 2 for the speaking? Okay. All right, yes. So part 2 for speaking. I'm coming. Just a minute. So, like I said, I have 2 videos that I worked on YouTube. Let me see if I can get a link. So I'll just paste and send to everyone. I can't really remember what questions were on that. I was speaking online. I was speaking online. All right. Honestly, I can't remember my part 2 questions, but maybe if you can ask me a question on part 2, I might be able to remember. Okay, someone told you not allowed to write anything in the question paper. Which of the question paper is that for your writing exam, Abi, your reading, or your listening? Which of them, please? If it's for the writing, you're allowed to write on your question paper. In fact, you're allowed to write on all the question paper. Don't listen to that. You're allowed to write on all the question paper. Everything. It's your paper. The only thing that they're going to collect the paper from you after the exam. You're allowed to write on your question paper. All right. Any other questions?
Please, I want to know if it's in writing, are you going to write in the question paper and also key your answer to the system?
All right. It depends on what you're using now. If you're using a computer or paper-based, I really can't answer for computer because I did the paper-based exam. So I really don't know how the questions are going to come out for computer. But for the paper-based, I had my my question paper and had my answer booklets. So once I got my question paper for the writing, no, you're not using pen. You're not using pen. Everything you're using is pencil. They're not even going to allow you in with a pen. You're using your pencil. So once I got my I'll carry plenty pencils, carry like 3 because you might not have that time to sharpen in the examination hall, or maybe 4. So you can just be changing pencils. So once I got my question paper for my writing, the first thing I did wasn't to start writing on my answer booklets. This is very important. You have to structure your answer. And that is why I said study Ryan Higgins, because Ryan Higgins is going to teach you how to study your answer. Part 2 of the writing, that's the most important bit, because that's the one that is most challenging for most students. So Ryan Higgins is going to teach you. I'm going to give like a quick cap of the whole tips Ryan Higgins gave. I'm coming, I'm seeing the questions. I'll answer them one by one. So, like I said, you get your writing, you structure your answers. That's the first tip. And I started with writing part 2 because that's the one that carries more mark. I got the question. Yeah, hello. So that's that. That's that. I don't know if that answered the question for the writing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Then for the listening, carry your HB pencil, carry 2B pencil, anyone you like, just use it. It doesn't matter the kind of pencil. As far as it's legible, it works for you. Carry it. Carry your sharpener, carry your eraser. So for the listening, go to your IELTS practice tests. You have those ones on the IELTS group that we're in. Pick a lot of them, like the main exam questions. Practice them. They're going to teach you how to listen. Okay? Someone said in the reading lists of headings is my problem. List of headings is my problem. How can that be solved? I keep getting 6 in my reading. How do I improve? You can get an 8, you can get an 8.5, you can even get a 9 in your reading. The idea is just to stick to one teacher. So like I said, for my writing, I only studied Ryan Higgins. I'm not saying the other teachers are not good, but I found out that Ryan Higgins is one of the easiest to understand and he breaks down everything. For the reading, I went on my YouTube and I watched James. So I downloaded the YouTube videos and I watched how James did his reading. And that's just the only thing I studied. And that was the same step I followed. So the person that's asking, I keep getting a 6. Please go and study James. I don't know if you studied James before. Just study only James and focus on him. So it will work. It works very well. Yeah, that's that. Any more questions?
Okay, Okay, I would like to ask a question concerning the 250 letters or 250 words, 150 words. Like
Yeah.
in an exam situation now, do you have to start counting the words? So I don't know.
Okay. You don't
Just
now. You don't have to start counting the words. You need to know how legible or how big or small your writing is. So the first thing you're going to do is ask yourself, in a line, how many words do I write? For me, I write between 8 to 9 words in a line. And I think on one side of the paper is about 15 and the other side is 16. So I don't know. There are a lot of IELTS sample papers online. You can just go and count all the lines. So you don't even need to do that in the exam. Count all the lines. So you know that on this page, you've written 15 lines. And if your average word for a line is 8 words, or let's say 7 words or 9 words, just do 7 times 15. And that's something you have to know now, not when you go to the exam. My exam, I didn't really count the lines because I already knew that, oh, my average words for this so line is 8. So I do 8 lines, space for a paragraph, and I used 2 papers, but on the other paper, I just used 3 more lines. That was all I used, and that was just it for my writing. And yeah. Someone said, sorry, I didn't get the person you followed on writing. I don't understand that, please. Can you rephrase? I don't know if that answered your question, please.
yes, it did.
Okay.
It did. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? Okay. The person, he said James. Yeah, the person I followed on reading James on YouTube. I'll send Jaffa the full name so you can send there. Or let me see if I can even find it. I'll just send it to everyone now. Just hold on, please. But if you have any questions, please ask. I'm here. I'm coming. I'm looking for it. Okay. There it is. The name
How
of the
am I
person.
going to know when I'm giving an example and when I'm highlighting a reason? How will I differentiate between a reason and an example? Because most times I think that the example I'm giving is a reason and the reason I'm giving is an example. So how am I going to differentiate it?
Okay, please, can you rephrase that question? Read is in what part of the test are you talking about?
Writing. When they say give one example and one reason for the problem. Do you understand me?
Yeah, okay, just come again. Say it again one more time.
Okay. Like some questions will be like give 2 reasons and an example to back your reason up. Most times when I give reason, I see it
Yeah.
as being an example. So I don't know how to differentiate between my reason and my example.
Okay.
I'm really
Is
having a
that
problem in
academic or
it when
general? Is
writing.
that academic or general, please?
Academic.
Academic. Okay, I did general. So I will not be the best person to answer that one now. It's general I did.
Okay, thank you.
All right then. Reason and example. Okay, please, how long can one study before appearing for an IELTS exam? That's someone's question. It depends. Everyone is different. And like I mentioned earlier, that I'm a lawyer. And in all sincerity, I just used 3 days to study for the exam. I know I said a week, but honestly, the main studies were 3 days. And when I got to my IELTS exam, I was kind of scared because I was like, wow, you told yourself you're going to study for months before the exam, but you used 3 days. How are you going to do it? But when the exams came, I was like, wow, it's not that difficult. I thought it was going to be more difficult, but it's not. It wasn't even difficult. All right. But my advice to anyone would be to book your exam a month ahead of time. Don't read and say, okay, I've read and I'm going to book my exam. No, you're going to keep postponing it. I've been postponing my IELTS exam since 2018. That's to show you how bad it is. I've been saying, you know what, I'm going to read. But I booked my exam, and that was when I became serious about my reading. And I just studied Ryan Higgins. and the other people, and then I wrote my exam. So like I said, it depends on the person, but ideally, you should just take a month to prepare for your IELTS exam. Every day, give yourself your timetable. Which one areas are more difficult for you? Is it writing? Is it reading? Put more time in that area. So for me, I put more time in writing. So for writing, within the 3 days, I was studying writing for like 4 hours, 5 hours. Reading was like 2 hours. For the listening, during my morning jog. So when I'm jogging in the morning, I'm doing my morning exercise, or maybe I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking, or maybe I'm cleaning my house chores. I'm with my earpiece, with my phone. So I'm just listening to the video on YouTube and how they're answering the questions. And that's what I did. So it's not like I apportion any special time for listening. You can do listening anytime in your day, even in the office, at your workplace, with your children. Just put it in your ears and you can do that. Then for the last part, is it the speaking? Speaking is also the same thing too. Put your earpiece and that's it. So ideally a month. And someone said, I've not written the exam, but I'm even scared of writing. During practice for reading, I take too much time. Listen, I seem also and listen, it seems to get worse in its middle, especially the map. So like I said, the only way you can really be able to manage your time during reading is to practice and follow the tips that Ryan Higgins gave you. You don't need to read the whole essay. You just need to read the important bits, which are the first sentences in the paragraph. Highlight maybe the names with capital letters, names of countries, numbers, etc. That's it. That's all. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So okay.
Hi.
So my question again is on speaking, because somehow like you get to face someone and then you have to start answering questions. Like, once you let's say get scared to the extent of maybe missing out points, or I don't know, it's just that since you know this person is the examiner, so how did you manage, let's say, how did you manage frights,
All right.
or was there
All
any
right.
fright or whatever? I don't know.
No, yeah, I would lie to you. I was frightened. I was not frightened before I started speaking. I was frightened when I started speaking. So even before I started speaking, I think I was just like, just making fun. I was just talking to myself and just, trying to do what makes me relax. So I don't know, just find what makes you relax before speaking. And some people say that they practice with their friends, maybe their spouse, their brothers, people for the speaking, where they ask them questions and they interview them. So my examiner, during my exam, my speaking exam, she was very strict and she was very fast. She was like, okay, she just asked me like the first question, what's your name and where do you live? Those ones are basic questions and they're not going to focus on that. They're not going to focus on that. You just tell them, okay, my name is Kelvin Dubé, blah, 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 blah. I live in Abuja. Abuja is in the north of Nigeria, the central, blah, blah, blah of Nigeria, all those things. Those ones are quite easy. It's from the part two and they start asking you. But then, when you think about it, you paid 75,000 naira for something. Nobody wants their money to waste. You understand? And you're not going to say because someone is talking to you, it's just an exam at the end of the day. It's just an exam. So, like I said, just practice with your friends. If that's going to help, practice with your brothers, your sisters, your spouse, even strangers. You can tell someone in the office to help you practice if that's going to help. Let them ask you the questions and then you repeat. Just keep practicing the questions. Keep practicing the questions. And before you know it, you familiarize yourself with it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so let me add one more thing. I think for the speaking, the last part, they asked me a question. Tell me about a family you lived with. Tell me about a family you lived with and what you loved about them. On a normal day, I'll just tell you, the family I lived with was, they're good. I like them. I don't know what you want to tell me. But then I have to answer the question. I have to say, okay, there are this so number of people in the family. There's the father, the mother, certain children, how tall the father is. If the father is dark, he's light-skinned, he's chubby, he's slim. I did the same thing with the mother. I did the same thing for the 7 children. I highlighted that maybe we visited a zoo. We didn't visit any zoo. The whole story was kind of I formed the story right there. But we didn't. I said we visited the zoo. We took pictures. I was happy. I have a lot of lovely memories with the person. And then for my speaking, I got 7.5. That was low. That was low. And the reason I got 7.5 was because I stopped talking. Once you stop talking in the exam, they're going to penalize you and they're going to mark you down. So no matter what, make sure you keep talking. Make sure you keep talking.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. And when the examiner asks you questions like, what do you love about, let's say, Nigeria? Don't repeat the examiner and say, the thing I love about Nigeria is, no, you're trying to show them your ability in English. So you can rephrase the question and say, the thing I like most about Nigeria, or the thing I enjoy most about Nigeria. It shows the examiner that you understand the question. You just don't understand the question, but you're able to rephrase the question, which shows your English ability. So that's it for the speaking.
Thank you, sir. Fully appreciate. And I want to remind that we have 3 minutes to remain this meeting. I think all people gave all their questions, and we got enough answers from you, which are really good for preparation. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Jaffa. Thank you, Jaffa. Thank you, Jaffa.
So, anything you want to tell to people, or we have to just finish the meeting?
Yeah. Guys, don't be scared, man. You understand? Everyone here, we've written exams in our life. I don't know, maybe primary school, secondary school, we've all written exams in our life. This is just an exam. It's not a big deal. Write it and get out of this country, man. I don't know I know everybody here wants to leave the country one way or the other for something, either academic or general. Just write the exam, man. And at the end of the day, you don't gain anything by being scared. If you have to pray, I don't know if you're religious, you have to pray before the exam and practice. If you're not registered for your exam, register for your exam now. Give yourself a month. If you know you can use 2 weeks to prepare, give yourself 2 weeks. Register for exam and give yourself that 2 weeks time frame and start preparing. Focus on areas where you're not good and practice them every day. And with time, you'll be good. That's all, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody, for joining the meeting. We all appreciate. You can unmute yourself now. Hello.
Sir, I have a
We have less than a minute, please. Sorry for that.
question.
Hello,
Hello, sir.
thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you, Gavin.
Thank you.
Can't wait to